Blessings to you all. Today I'm making homemade pizza. It's made from quite simple ingredients. Please allow me to cite a verse from the Bible from the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 29. Then God said, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food. Thanks be to God. Amen. So as you could see here, I have these ingredients, which is pretty much about, I use bread flour. I would say you're gonna use 2 1/3 cup of flour. And here I have a combination of a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of basil, 2 teaspoon of dry yeast, salt. You could use whichever you want. I just put 3/4 teaspoon of salt. I have the 1.5 teaspoon of sugar, and that I'm gonna mix into first I'm gonna start with 1 cup of bread flour. You could use all-purpose flour, no big deal. It's still gonna give you a good dough. So I'm gonna just put in the ingredient here together. And also I'm gonna use olive oil. It's about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Use about 3/4 cup warm water. Here you go. And I'm gonna mix it. First I'm gonna mix all this together, and I'm gonna gradually add the second cup and maybe third cup of flour. It depends on how the dough is forming, and how also the quality of your flour, it depends. So I'm gonna add the little bit of, actually I'm gonna put it all, and then I'm gonna mix them all together with a wooden spoon, and then I'm gonna gradually add the other a cup and a third if needed. So after we added all the ingredient into our first cup of bread flour, we can add the second gradually flour. I'm gonna add it gradually, the second cup of flour. So let me see how much is gonna need. As you can see here, I end up placing my dough into a mixer, and after I added the extra cup and a third of flour, I was able to form this kind of dough right here. You just dust your hands with some flour so you could be able to knead it more on a table surface like this. Okay, if it's a little sticky, that's fine, but as long as you can work with it, you're fine. Just to shape it. So this dough pretty much took 2 1/3 cup of bread flour. Remember, I used bread flour, and I seasoned it with some garlic powder, not much, like a 1/4 garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, and a 1/4 of dried basil. Plus I added some salt. I added, of course, the yeast, the sugar, this is how it should be. Like, it's not sticking anymore. Now I'm gonna place it into a greased bowl with olive oil. I greased it already right here. So we let the dough rise for more than 30 minutes. It depends on the texture of the dough. It might take more than 30 minutes to rise. So I would say this is quite good. So I'm just deflating it with my hands. And I'm gonna put it onto a flour or dusted table with flour. And then I'm gonna continue kneading it like for like 5 times or so. So after I knead it for a few times, I stretch it out according to the shape of the pan that you have. Mine is not necessarily a circle, it's just a baking sheet, as you can see here, with a parchment paper. That's our lining, and this is our pizza dough using the bread flour. So I'm gonna go ahead and transfer it, and then put whatever topping that you desire on your pizza. So after I transfer the dough into the baking cookie sheet, I'm gonna sprinkle some olive oil on the top. It could be better if I opened it up. Brush it all the way. And then when you have something like a fork to poke it so it doesn't get bubbly, I'm gonna poke it like that. You can fold the edges if you like. If you don't, you don't have to. I already have the mozzarella. My topping would be a jalapeno. And this sauce, I actually mixed up pasta sauce jar along with a ripe tomato that I have on my fridge. I blended in the blender and I added to the tomato sauce, but I did some roasted garlic to it. And I let it boil on the stove for a few minutes until it thickened, and this is the texture of the tomato sauce. It's a combination of ripe crushed tomato along with a store-bought pasta sauce. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put the pasta first, the pasta sauce, mozzarella. My pizza look like before I put it in a preheated oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna put it again all the way at the bottom of my oven, so this way I don't want it to get stale, but I want it to cook and be also crunchy and at the same time not stale. So let's go ahead and bake the pizza in a 425 degrees Fahrenheit oven. So here's our baked pizza after it came out of the oven. See how nice and goldish it looks from top to bottom. You can see here. Transfer it. So here's my pizza. Very nice, and it's not too thick and it's not too thin. I again, you could use any flour you like of your choice. Just stick to the rest of the ingredients and the measurements, which is 2 to 2/3 cup flour on a 3/4 cup water, 2 tablespoons of yeast, sugar, you add sugar, about maybe 2 teaspoons of sugar. Please let me know if you try it and if you like it. Thank you.